The following evening, Laura was closed to the public, draped in the heavy silence of a private Vallo engagement. The chandeliers cast a honeyed glow over the velvet drapes, but the atmosphere was thick with a tension that Zora could feel in her marrow. She moved through the dining room with practiced grace, her eyes occasionally darting to Dante. He sat at the head of the long table, a silent monolith of power, while his captains whispered over wine and bone-in ribeye. Donna Camilla sat to his right, her sharp eyes following Zora with a curious, knowing smile. "More sparkling water, Donna Camilla?" Zora asked, leaning in. Before the older woman could answer, the front windows, reinforced, expensive glass, shattered with the deafening roar of a sledgehammer. Time didn't slow down, it fractured. "Get down!" Dante's voice thundered, slicing through the sudden chaos. 3 men in tactical gear and black balaclavas burst through the jagged remains of the storefront. They weren't looking for the till, their muzzles were leveled directly at the head of the table. The air exploded with the rhythmic thud-thud-thud of suppressed gunfire. Zora dove behind a marble serving station just as a line of bullets stitched a path through the mahogany sideboard where she had stood seconds before. Glass rained down like diamond dust. Through the gap in the woodwork, she saw it. The lead gunman paused, his mask slipping for a fraction of a second as he adjusted his sights. She locked eyes with a man she recognized, not a stranger, but a regular who had sat at the bar only a week ago, nursing a bourbon and watching the kitchen. Dante was a blur of lethal motion. He flipped the heavy dining table on its side, shielding his mother with one hand while his other drew a sleek black pistol from his waistband. He returned fire with terrifying precision, forcing the invaders back toward the street. "Zora! To me!" Dante roared over the ringing in her ears. She scrambled across the floor, staying low, her palms stinging from glass shards. Dante grabbed her by the back of her uniform, hauling her behind the barricade of the table. His eyes were wild, searching her face for blood, but his expression hardened when he saw her staring at the door. "You saw him," Dante hissed, his grip tightening on her arm until it bruised. "The one in the lead. You recognized him, didn't you?" Zora nodded, her breath coming in shallow gasps. "He's been here before. He was watching the back entrance last Tuesday." Dante's jaw tightened, a muscle leaping in his cheek. The gunmen were retreating into a waiting SUV, the hit aborted but the message delivered. He looked at the shattered remains of the restaurant, then back at Zora. The ghost-like anonymity she had worked so hard to build was gone. "They saw you look at him," Dante said, his voice dropping to a deadly, protective low. "Which means you aren't just a witness anymore, Zora. You're a liability they can't afford to leave standing. You're coming with me."